What's up, everybody? It's Brian Trippe and Rob Drum. We're getting ready to do a Birmingham area market analysis for June. We're in June, but for the month of May, using May's statistics.
Yep.
Okay.
Covering May.
We're about to record a podcast too. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my office studio over here in the Roebuck Center Point area. I'm a little under the weather. I don't know if you can tell in my voice or not. Live, just in case you guys have any specific questions, and we'll get going.
All right.
You doing good, Rob?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Brian.
All right, so we're gonna start the podcast. That wasn't the start.
That's how I like to start the podcast.
Check. Hello. What's going on, everybody? It's Brian Trippe. Welcome to another episode of REI Extras. This month we've got Rob Drum with us, like we do every month, for the Birmingham area market analysis. Rob, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brian. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. Rob is a realtor with 205 Realty. He does some investing.
Yeah.
He does some turnkey flips. He does a lot of different things more catered to the investing community. And Rob does a tremendous job of keeping his finger on the pulse of the Birmingham market. Obviously, you're analyzing data, not just stuff that's kind of readily available to anyone, but you're actually like keeping your own statistics. Kind of talk about a little bit of what, I know you got a blog coming out here in a couple of days. Talk about a little bit of what the research that you've done recently.
Yeah, so I am a data nerd. I just find myself, looking up statistics about different areas, finding out things about pricing and just market statistics. I come from a stock market background and did a lot of work with programming and just analyzing data, and I've kind of carried that into what I'm doing with real estate. I write about it on my blog, robdrum.us, and you can subscribe there to get market research. That's what I usually put out. It's either market research or kind of stories and things I've learned from my own personal investing experience. I've got one coming out on Friday that's going to be a deep dive into the Center Point area. It's going to cover just some things like what does the average house look like in Center Point, like what's a stereotypical house. It covers who's buying the most and who's selling the most in Center Point.
Like you're going to name names?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's public data.
Right.
No.
I was just curious. Yeah. So you're going to name some names. You're going to tell us who is buying, who the buyers are, who the main players are in Center Point. Why Center Point?
Center Point is just a very hot investing area. There's people from all over the country. Here's a little teaser of the data that I found. I analyzed 3,200 sales in the last 3 years. There's 46 states represented by the names on the tax roll.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
46 states.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's broad interest in investing in this area, and I just thought it'd be interesting for everyone to kind of learn more about it and to just become more comfortable and that kind of thing with the area.
Let me ask you this before we kind of get into the data for this month, Rob. Because I've got specific opinions about Center Point in particular. My office is over here in this area for a reason. I put my office in 2014. We put our office here strategically because it was such a hot area for other investors coming in from out of state, and we wanted to be right here amongst that hot activity. In 2014, right as I was putting my office over here, there was an article in a real estate investing magazine. I can't remember the name of it right now, but this is 2014, where they listed the zip code 35215 as the seventh hottest zip code in all of America to buy cash flowing rental property. And that was one of the main reasons. That's when I was first really getting into wholesaling. That was one of the main reasons I decided to put my office here. So the question I want to ask you is, do you think Centerpoint is still a great market today to be buying rental property?
I do think it is. I think there's some things infrastructure-wise about the houses here and about the neighborhood, the tenant base that make it pretty strong. As we'll see in my blog post that's coming out, prices have definitely gone up. I think rents have gone up as well.
Yeah.
In talking to people at the Section 8 office, they mentioned they've seen a huge migration of people wanting to live more towards the east side of the city, Centerpoint, Roebuck, Eastlake even, which is partially because people like you and me, investors, are renovating beautiful houses over this way.
That's right. So that's awesome. Rob, tell us one more time how people can subscribe to your blog, and that's going to come out on what day? It's coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll put this out. This will come out Friday morning. Obviously, the Facebook listeners, you get to hear this right now, a couple of days early. But we'll put the podcast out Friday early morning. So people, if you're listening to the podcast right now, you can actually go. We'll go and link up Rob's blog. We'll link it up in our show notes as well. So if you're driving right now, you can just go to the show notes and you can click. Well, not if you're driving, but maybe if you're a passenger. Maybe when you get stopped, you can just click on that. It'll go straight to Rob's website where they can sign up for it to receive it every month.
Yep.
And you'll put this out, I'm sure, on your social media platforms.
Oh, yeah.
So cool. So, all right, awesome. Rob, thank you for that. And let's get into the meat of our episode. Obviously, you're going to have some very strong Centerpoint specific data, and maybe, I know you just gave us one teaser, maybe I'll ask you for another teaser here in a minute, but let's just do Birmingham Metro, kind of central Alabama as a whole. What have you seen from, I think we usually do year over year, so we use May statistics from May of last year to May of this year.
Yeah, so from May of last year to May of this year, there was a decrease in listings of only 13, so pretty insignificant change there.
So that's inventory.
Yeah.
Inventory is about stayed equal.
Yeah. The number of homes that sold increased across Birmingham by about 110.
Which is what percent?
You know what? I didn't do the percent on that one. It's the only one I did.
So
that's
it's probably going to end up
5%.
being. No, I don't think it's 5. Is it 5%? I think it's good. I think that's only going to be like 1 or 1.5, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's 5. 5 would be a pretty big number. I don't think it's that much. But anyway, we can go back and get that.
Yeah. This was probably the biggest number for this month. Again, it's May and sales are starting to heat up. The market's starting to heat up. So there was an increase from average sale price from $222,000 to $240,000.
So 222 to 240?
Yeah.
The average sales price on houses that sold in May of 2017 was $222,000, and the average sales price from May of just a month ago was $240,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So an increase of 18,000 or 8.23%, which that number can vary. So next month it might only be 4% increase, but looking at May over May.
Right. Yeah, and that's an important distinction too. This is not all of 2017 to all of 2018. This is not an 8% increase in appreciation, which is what it would be if we're talking about for the entire year.
Right.
But this is just year over year, from May to May. But that's still a very significant number.
It is. I mean, when you're talking about over about 2,000 sales, it's statistically significant. That's enough data to you can read into it. It could be thrown off if there was a house that sold for $3 million. Could skew the data some, but on the whole, that's it's pretty reliable reading there.
Anything else?
Days on market was down again. We see that pretty much every month, down from 71 to 57, about a 20% decrease of days on market.
From May to May.
Yeah.
Let's do this for next, because we'll have June.
Mm-hmm.
When we do this again in a month, we'll have June's data. Let's do this, because we'll have 6 full months for the year.
Right.
So we'll have half a year's worth of statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kind of combine them all. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we go January through June
Mm-hmm.
and take all of 2017
Yeah.
and compare it to half of 2018?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Let's do that for next month.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think that's going to be a really...
Kind of see where we are trending in comparison to last year.
All of last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Not just 6 months out of last year. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
we can do that.
I definitely want to do that. So I asked you before you came in here. Let's because listen, when I say this every month, when you're sitting here talking about average sales price went from 222 to 240, that's a really big number. You just said it could be one huge sale could affect that number, but what I want to really hone in on is, that could be like a lot of retail areas too, not necessarily our cash flowing areas, our rental areas, what I call our rental areas. So I asked you before you came in, can we get some stuff? Obviously, some stuff specific to Centerpoint is going to be on your blog.
Right.
It's coming out on Friday.
Yep.
What about, did you do anything on Pinson? Did you do anything on Pleasant Grove, Hueytown? Some of these really big cash flowing areas, kind of that I consider be solid B areas in Birmingham.
So what I did is, in those specific areas, there's not really enough data to make it to where you can look at it reliably month over month. So what I did is combine those areas into a basket of zip codes. So there's I can read you the zip codes that I used if you want.
It should be 35127, 35126, 35215, and 35023.
And I added 35214.
214. Okay, I did. Yeah, that's a tricky area though, because
some of it,
half of it's Forestdale, half of it's Birmingham City.
Yeah.
Some really bad parts of Birmingham City. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's fine.
for the purpose of the basket, that's what I used.
Sure.
B class basket.
All right.
So
give us some.
I basically did the same thing that I do for the entire market for the B class basket.
Perfect.
That just gives you a feel for what these areas on the whole are doing.
Sure.
So there were 2017, there were 200 listed. 2018, there were 213 listed.
Okay, hold. Just to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. All of 2017?
Well, this is May over May.
It's May over May. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I did it the exact same way.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Numbers sold went from 128 to 145. Something, again, pretty interesting that reflects what's happening in the broader market actually is the average sale price went from 117,000 to 136,000 in these areas. And then kind of mirroring the broader market, days on market went from 70 to 59. So
right.
Really pretty similar for this month at least to what's happening in our broader market.
So, because these are solid B areas within Birmingham, which means there are going to be some homeowners and there's going to be some renters. Yeah. It's going to be a kind of a mixture of both. I think, we had someone on recently who said 35215 is 80% rental right now. I don't know where she got that. She's a property manager. I don't know where she got the statistics, but that's what she said on our show, maybe a couple of months ago. I would want to take, because I would want to know specifically, an area like Pleasant Grove is becoming more and more and more, well, it's always been that way, homeowner. It is solid B. There are a lot of investors in there, but more and more investors are going in there to flip than they ever did, in the past. They were going in there for, to hold as rentals.
Yeah.
Now they're going in there to flip because there's a higher market for actual like homeowners in those areas. So, and then Pinson's kind of the same way over here on the eastern side of town. So I would want to take, and I know it might be difficult to get all this, but I would want to take, I'm giving you some homework here. I would want to get, if you could figure it out, all the non-owner occupied houses and see what those look like. How many sales, which I know they're going to be way fewer on the MLS that way. Yeah. But how many sales? What's the average sales price?
I can pull that off. I can do that. Yeah. I can get that off tax records.
I'm giving you a lot of homework here, Rob. So we're going to come in here next month. This is going to be our teaser for next month. When we do our July analysis, we're going to do two things. One, I'm giving you some homework here. Okay. This could be a good blog. Maybe we give like half the data. The rest of it then we'll link up to your blog.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's do that.
Okay.
No, but I think this is some really good stuff. Let's take all of 2017 and compare it to the first half of 2018.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with average sales price, days on market, all the data that you just gave, total number of sales, and with a percentage, with the total number and the percentage. And then we'll also take the B basket that you just did, all non-owner occupied stuff.
Okay.
Just non-owner occupied, not where homeowners are going to be living in them, where actual investors may be buying these to hold as rentals. Because I'd be very interested to see what that average sales price looks like. Because a lot of times people say, hey, come to Birmingham for some cash flow. And then if you get appreciation, it's a bonus. But it just, based on what you just got done saying, Rob, going from 117 to 136 average sales price in that B basket, the B level areas in Birmingham are appreciating.
Yeah.
I know it's May over May. Maybe we do compare all of 2017 to the first half of 2018 for that one as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. Any last things to add? I know I've been talking a lot.
No, that's it. Thanks for having me, Brian.
No, I appreciate it. One last time, how can people get in touch with you, and how can people find your blog?
Yeah, you can get in touch with me. The best way is to either call or text 205-253-8756. And you can find my blog at robdrum.us, and that's not .com, it's .us.
So a lot of you guys, especially if you're listening to this from out of state, a lot of you guys want to contact me specifically to help you find some rentals and find some stuff like that. And I always forward your information along to Rob, because Rob is working with our brokerage. So I would highly encourage you, if you are looking for properties in our area, in Birmingham, the B-class properties are the ones that are probably the most, most asked for and highest demand. But you're also doing some C-class stuff. I noticed you have some stuff in East Lake. You're doing some stuff in Midfield and some areas like that. So get in touch with Rob specifically if you are looking to buy in Greater Birmingham. This is where you can come and not necessarily pay, market value through, and we've got some great turnkey providers. If you want it turnkey and nothing else, you don't even want to think about it ever again. We've got some great turnkey providers, and they've probably all been on our show at some point. But if you want something where you might be able to get in a little bit more of a discount, what Rob does is more, he does some turnkey flips, but he does also what we call turnkey for a fee. We have some clients right now that Rob and I are both working with who are buying the property that still needs to be rehabbed with their own money, and then we set them up with our contractors, with our property managers, to where you can get in a little bit more of a discount. You can get in, 80%?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully all in. Around 80%.
All in, purchase plus repair.
Yeah, and something that's just really in the last month or so, there's been a lot of situations where I talk to a lot of wholesalers. You see a lot of deal flow from wholesalers, and when I've seen a deal and thought, oh, I know such and such from Texas who was looking for this exact kind of deal, and we're working on one right now that is it's a wholesale deal that he's going to get a great deal and never would have seen it. But I'm starting to do more helping wholesalers get their deals sold.
Yeah. And Rob can do that legally because he's a realtor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there trying to do that who are not doing it legally. So reach out to Rob, email him. Did you give your email address? Did you give your phone number? Text him?
Yeah. I give my phone number, 205-253-8756, or you can email me. It's just rob@robdrum.us.
rob@robdrum.us. And we'll put all that in the show notes. Can't thank you enough for coming on the show, Rob. Next month, we're gonna really get into some.
We're gonna bring it.
We're gonna bring the fire next month. Awesome. See you guys next time. Facebook. I don't have any. Do I have any questions? I don't. I haven't even been looking. Do you guys have any questions before we go for Rob or for myself? No questions on here. We're trying to give you guys some incredible value, and you got two people who do a lot of research here locally. As far as like data goes, and we're in it. We're right here in it, and I probably see everything because everything comes through the RIA. But it looks like the broadcast has been paused. It should resume shortly. So something happened to my. But if you guys are watching this right now and it did not get interrupted, we thank you so much for watching, and I guess we'll see you next time. Oh, we did get some questions. Okay, hey, okay. I'm going to. Oh, dang, we got a bunch of questions. They didn't show up on my thing.
Oh.
Okay. Let's go through these questions.
Okay.
What about flip areas? Pleasant Grove's a secret. All right. So what about flip areas? I'm trying to understand your question specifically. Josh asked a question. What about flip areas? I guess for as far as like data goes, as far as like appreciation, that's going to basically be what you went over.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Kind of like you said with Pleasant Grove, there's starting to be more people flipping there. Along with some of the other B-class areas, there's one that I'm closing on at the end of the month that's in Forestdale. It could very easily be a retail flip. It's probably going to be a turnkey flip, but I think there's opportunities in those areas for flipping.
Yeah. I think the B-class areas right now, someone just said shh about Pleasant Grove, like be quiet. I think the secret's been out there, Mark. The secret on Pleasant Grove is totally out there. Well, cool. Mark just said I'm running a report right now on Pleasant Grove properties that have condition issues, digital driving for dollars. So no, I think Pleasant Grove is an incredible area. But I think Hueytown is too. Hueytown's one of those areas that is, you think of it more as B class, as cash flowing area, but it's 80% homeowners. So there's a lot bigger of an opportunity, I feel like, in Hueytown than there is in Centerpoint. I think Centerpoint is saturated. I really do. When you talk about 80-20 the other way.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I got those numbers mixed up. It's not 80-20 in Hueytown, it's 50-50.
Oh, okay.
It's 50-50 in Hueytown, sorry. But still, you have a lot better opportunity in a Hueytown for a cash flowing property than you do in Centerpoint. But what's happening today that I'm seeing is you can do fix and flip in B-class areas.
Yeah.
And there are retail buyers for it, and if you can't sell it on the retail market, then there are turnkey buyers. There are people who will buy for cash flow who will pay you close to market value for it, by the way. So
yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm seeing. I mean, if you're looking at flipping, I mean, you can look, and honestly, if you look at Eastlake, if you look at MLS sales in Eastlake, which we probably call a C area, there's MLS sales that hit 6 figures.
Okay, so you got to be careful now with what you're talking about specifically, and I don't know if I'm sure you do, but are you just doing it by zip code?
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing it by zip code, you got to be really careful there, because 35206 is also going to be Roebuck Springs, where you got $200,000 houses.
Yeah.
So I would segment. I would go into the MLS and actually like put a polygon around actual East, and that's what you did.
Yeah. I mean, they're very nice houses where the bones are there, and someone came in and made them very nice for $100,000.
Totally.
To get a house like that. So it's something that I've been seeing in the market that I haven't heard anyone really talk about, but is interesting, something to keep an eye on. Yeah, so I'm sure you would agree. I mean, I haven't done the research like you have, but it's more this way. It's more towards Roebuck. It's the stuff that's kind of 90th Street and more east, rather than the stuff closer to a Port of Madrid and closer to Woodlawn. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Right. So it's street to street, Eastlake street to street.
Is, yeah.
I would, if I'm you and you're listening to this and you're watching this and you want to know more about Eastlake, I would stick with 90th Street and keep going higher, keep going up. Below that, you know, in the high 80s, you might be okay, but it's street to street. You have to literally drive the streets and make sure that there are no vacant houses, or at least not a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of vacant houses in Eastlake.
Yeah, definitely don't just go blindly buy something there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Hope y'all learned something. I don't see any more questions in here. Hope you guys learned something today. Reach out to Rob if you have any specific questions. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.